Hey everyone, and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we're building the city that we're calling Lillehammer. And how do you like the city's name? Let me know in the comments if it should stay or if you have a better one. It's only the third episode and we can still change it. Speaking of changes, we are continuing to develop rapidly in the city, and so we're going to need a new hospital. So we're going to build a shiny new hospital right about here. And what else are we facing today? Let's look at our workplace availability. We have about 666 workplaces, jobs available. So we've got to fill some of those because some of our industries will be hurting for workers. And so we're going to do that. We're going to build the hospital and then a residential neighborhood in this big block over here. Obviously, however, we've got to do some major grading. And then we're going to round out the episode by doing some new power production, probably up here for wind. We're going to be upgrading some city services, adding some industry around the area, and possibly some transit work. So let's spend a few development points to get the things that we want. Great, and let's make sure we can fund all of this by increasing our tax rates. Now, the happiness meter here is saying that high taxes are one thing that people are complaining about, but it's not a large complaint. So we're gonna go and we're gonna actually raise the taxes. I think we can handle an increase of 1% on most of them to 13. And we forgot to update, oh, maybe I did it already. We updated our tax rate on offices, but let's put it all to 13 across the board. And we'll see if that brings us in a little bit more cash. Right now we are net positive, but a new hospital is going to cost us quite a lot of money. So we're going to have to probably take out, well, not a loan, but we're going to have to fund that from our coffers here before we get back into the revenue positive territory. Okay, great. So let's put our hospital here right next to the high school. And of course, first we need to do some serious grading. So let's do that as well. And you can see, because we haven't graded, there's water pooling here. It's raining like crazy, and we don't want to have any water pooling anywhere. Well, we also don't want to have some crazy roads. Let's go. All right, so that's not bad for first pass. We're gonna have to fine tune that grading, but for now, what I want to do is get in a flat pad for the hospital, and we'll make sure it's not sitting on too high up, and we'll pick a level and we'll just smooth it out. Okay, so, look, we're running out of water. Holy. Let's address that before the whole city dies of thirst. So let's take a look what's happening here. Water availability is short, and we can't import because we don't have a pipe connecting anything. So, as a temporary measure, let's go over to our water pumping station and we'll upgrade it. That should balance up from 73,000 square meters per month to, or cubic meters rather. There we go, 110,000, great, okay. That'll take care of that for a while, but I think we might need to address that more in a long-term fashion. All right, we've got our hospital in the basics here, and you can see I've gave it a little pad and a retaining wall, which, you know, I kind of just wanted to play with the retaining walls a little bit. Obviously need to do some grading still, but I think this is coming together quite nicely, and I like the way that it's going to overlook the, what do you call that, the bay, the ocean. And let's give it some detailing before we move on. That should look pretty great when it grows in. And I think, you know, since we have a little park area here, we might continue that theme all the way down here. And you know, I'm thinking maybe we have a central park up here later. So let's make a bit of a corridor where people can actually walk through. I do love those retaining walls. I think that looks pretty great, and I think we're gonna let it fill in. We might need to do a little bit of grading here and there to fix this up, but so far so good. Let's keep going, and yeah, I think we did a great job here. So let's see what else we can do. Well, I think I've just given myself a PhD in retaining walls, and they're not perfect. They're bouncing up and down a little bit. I honestly don't have the skill to make those perfectly smooth. Once you get up close, they start to break down a little bit, but that's okay. You know what? We're giving our city a nice little tiered effect. I think the hospital turned out just beautiful. We've got a little park area to allow people to walk through. I'm giving them a little connectivity down here into this. I believe we're gonna save this as a bit of a central park type of area. We'll get to that in a minute, but before I forget, we've put this hospital down here. I wanna maybe move our clinic. Let's see how our healthcare coverage is. It's actually really quite amazing, and I'm not sure industrial areas actually need the availability. So let's see, what do we have here? Citizen health, okay, healthcare coverage network. Networks are the roads, and good is green. So I think it's actually fine. What are these buildings telling us? Citizen health, okay, so it's not great, it's not perfect, but I think with the new hospital, that's gonna change soon. I'm not sure that we actually need a clinic in the industrial area. I was gonna move it, but I don't think it's necessary. Let's take a look at what they're actually doing. 21 patients of 100, that's fine. I don't want to delete it. Hospital's doing nothing, one patient. Should I delete it? I probably should. You know, we're gonna try it. It's costing us $60,000 a month. We have a beautiful new hospital. I don't think we need this. And we'll repurpose this a little bit. Let's see what we can get in here. And I'm seeing that we're experiencing a massive flood in the downtown. I'm guessing this is because we have a low point here, and I'm not sure honestly what can be done to fix that. We might just need to let it be for now, but in the future we might need to do some serious grading. That is what you call a learning curve, folks. We're learning about how the game works, and we're learning that when it rains, all the low points will be filled with water. So, same thing is likely to happen in a real city. You gotta think of these things. But let's fill out some of this space here. What do we have here? We've got car crashes, burned down. Fire wasn't put out in time. I'm wondering why that might be. We had, I thought, a pretty good fire station. Well, let's not get distracted by that. Okay, so we've got this new neighborhood spawning in, and you'll see I've left this area here for a bit of a central park area, and I think it would be nice to put in a core building here. We're going to use the new welfare office, which is an interesting mechanic in the game. Let's find that. Helps the less fortunate by increasing well-being in the surrounding neighborhood. Great, so this is very centrally placed. It might actually cover the entire residential downtown here, which is great. And I think we'll put it off this road here. We'll try to center this nicely. Beautiful. It's actually a lovely building. That's just actually amazing. And it you know what? It serves as a bit of anchor for this park area and a bit of a feature that shows off the city's awesomeness, and it's going to improve everyone's wellness as well. So we'll keep this in here, and let's see if we can get a couple sports fields in this park as well, and then we'll do some path work. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks. We've got our beautiful welfare office here at one side. We've got our couple soccer or football fields, depending on which continent you live on here. And we've filled in most of the zoning on this side. I've just given ourselves a little bit of density, and let's see what we're missing as far as demand goes. We want a lot of low density. We want a lot of commercial and industrial. We'll deal with that in a minute, everybody. But for now, let's get into some of this residential low density demand. Okay, so that's giving us a little bit more density in a new neighborhood, and then we have a lot of single family homes, etc. over here. What's next? So I'm checking our power production, and the state is a little dire. We have a deficit of 17.73 megawatts per whatever time period, month I suppose. And I'm seeing an opportunity for some green new energy. Our little coal power plant here, that's just not cutting it. So nothing we can do about that besides build a new power plant. And I know when we tested our wind up here, it didn't work so well, but I know already. I've checked this area here, and it is pretty great for wind. So we're gonna kind of kill two birds with one stone. We're gonna first get in our power, our wind power, and then over here there's a nice patch of fertile land, and we're gonna get in a farm over here. So let's get some power, start maybe exporting a little bit more, and we'll move on to the farm work. Hey, and there we got our busy town milestone unlocked. Another 9 tiles to buy, another 7 development points, a bunch of money, and what else can we do? Increase loan limit, of course. Ore mining, that's going to come in handy just in time, because we're going to put in an ore mine. Gated community, what's this? Only people living or working within the district are allowed in. This increases the well-being of its residents and reduces crime. Does not affect city services. I wonder what are the downsides, because in real life this is not a great policy. It's certainly kind of distasteful, but I wonder what it does in the game. Let's ignore that for now, and let's get back to what we were doing, putting in our wind power plants. Awesome, 9 new wind turbines on the hill. They look a little close to me, but hey, the game says it's fine, so we'll run with it. And I think now we should have more than ample power. We should have an excess. We should be exporting. Let's take a look. Yes, we went from a deficit of 1718 megawatts to an export of 27. Sweet. Okay, and I wonder what is that doing for our budget. I'm curious. Service trade. There we go. So we're making 4,200. Is that going to jump up at all? And it doesn't look like it. Was it worth it? I seriously doubt that. Oh, there we go. 66,000, 67,000. Beautiful. Okay, so we're pulling in some money. I'm curious, how much do these ones cost to build or to run every month? 15,000. So I don't know if they're paying for themselves. We did save ourselves some money by not having to import anymore. But that is what it is. So let's continue on a road around this river here and get some farms in there. All right, and how's that road as far as the grade is concerned? It's not terrible. It's pretty good. A little bit of dip going on here. We'll fix that. Great, and a quick look at our production to see what are we missing as far as farm production is concerned. We're missing a lot, and I don't know why we have so much coal and so little lumber. They're about the same size, but I guess we're just not using it in town. So the coal rather. What do we have the most deficit, 61 tons of, this is cotton. So let's focus on the cotton and get that in. Okay, cool. We've got some cotton, and we'll be managing a shortfall there. All right, that's looking good. And so one more industry that we have no production in is metal ore, which is crucial for some of our industry. And there's a great patch, if I recall, over here somewhere. Let's double check that. Yeah, right here. So we might need to buy a little extra tile or two here to capture all of that. But I think what we're gonna do is we're going to cross the river somewhere here and rethink this road layout in the neighborhood a bit. Possibly put a larger collector road across here so we can continue across over to this wild blue yonder over here. Let's get some tiles. And I'm noticing, you know, maybe this is a bit of an oddity with this map, but this seems like it would be a really tight bottleneck for the water to flow. I know there's another 2 outlets over here, but it seems like a lot of volume is flowing here. It just looks a little unnatural to me. So we're gonna widen this up before we do the bridge and you know, just make it look, in my estimation, a little bit more realistic. Is that better? I think so. I think so. We're gonna leave that and let's do what I said I was gonna do, which is demolish this neighborhood. So I've prepared 2 pads for the bridge to go across. I want to make sure that this is kind of level with the highway. That's probably going to be a little high, but let's see what happens when we go ground level. Yeah, it looks pretty even to me. I would like some pillars here. I'm still figuring out how to place pillars. I think you just have to go over, click twice, and whoops, we moved the pillar out. How did that happen? Apparently it's only gonna let me have 1, so I'd rather just not have it at all if that's the case, but and now I don't know how to remove it. Maybe if I stretch the road out just a wee bit. Still doesn't want to give me 2 pillars, and guess what? I can live with it, so we're not gonna worry about it. Let's fix up this road network and then get in the metal ore mine. And there we have it, grind a rock. Very original, very evocative, and I like it. So that's wonderful. Let's see how our production's doing now. It's looking pretty great. We do have some deficits, of course, but something we can take care of in a future episode. We do have some surpluses as well. You know, we're now producing 23 tons of metal ore and 50 tons of cotton. I like it. Okay, great. You know what? There's just a few little odds and ends I want to take care of before we go. I've noticed the traffic's getting a little bit hairy, and a quick fix on this, you know, that we can tackle in this episode are some roundabouts. So let's look at the traffic flow. Yes, it's very heavy here. I think I might have a little fix for that one actually. Let's see. When in doubt, add a lane, right? That's what they teach you at a city planner school. So let's go in here. Let's grab our medium roads and the 5-lane asymmetric, and let's just upgrade and pull another lane. I'm pulling this to the right, and that actually had the effect of putting, or I thought it would, another lane on the highway, but we might need, or the roundabout, we might need another lane on this highway, which we're going to do this one, the 3 lanes in one direction, upgrade. And we want it to kind of sit on the right side here, adding the lane on the right hand side. Give them a little bit of runway there. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty decent. And now we've got our extra lane in the roundabout. That should move things along a bit faster. And to help it even more, let's give ourselves a couple of roundabouts. We're going roundabout crazy, folks. And I don't think we need to go any farther with those, but hopefully that should allow traffic to just flow better. This is saying no car access. That's nonsense. What are you talking about? We'll bulldoze that and let it try again. And hopefully we see this highway road just start to flow. Where else are we seeing some traffic issues? You know, I'm just gonna go in and put some roundabouts preemptively at our major junctions here. Anywhere 2 of these big collector roads intersect. And while we're at the traffic thing, let's take a look at just any last traffic bottlenecks anywhere. Of course, that looks like flooding, doesn't it? Traffic flow is down to about 70%, which is not great. You know, the old rule of thumb I used in City Skylines 1 was 80% is my line in the sand. So we're gonna maybe have to do a little bit of trafficking in the next episode. And I wonder if, you know, in the meantime, it might just be smart to get rid of some of the stop signs that are in the way. This road, slowly clearing. Let's take a look at our parking. I don't know if we have any in the city actually. Facility availability is 0, so the answer is none. Let's see where we can get in some. Let's just go with the small parking lots. Okay, so we've added in our parking, and I'm noticing that road condition is pretty bad. I thought we had a road maintenance depot, but we might not. Let's see if we did manage to get one in anywhere. We did not. I'm very intrigued by that. I thought for sure I had already put one in. I guess not. Let's find a good spot for that. Alright, I've kind of just thrown this in willy-nilly here. That's probably a lazy man's way to do this, but let's just at least grade it a little bit. Alright, and now these trucks are going to come out and they're going to start fixing roads. They're going to start pushing snow when it snows. And what else do we need to do here? I'm just checking our water availability, and I see that we've got a ton of water, but we don't have, we're getting a little scary on our sewage treatment. So I think that might be one of the first things we address in the next episode. Not today, but I do want to add a bus line. You know, we've sort of fleshed out this ring road around town here. If I can put my mouse on it, it won't let me. There we go. And I think that makes sense to have a bus line there. So let's do that. While we're at it, I see a ton of taxis in town, even though we don't have a taxi depot. I wonder what they're doing. Origin is Milford, and they're going to Garland. So it looks like this is an intercity type of travel here. Another one here, yeah, they're coming from Milford, which is where? Okay, on this side of the map. So we're going to need to think about some intercity transportation in the next episode. Not today, we've done pretty much enough, but let's get this bus line in and see if that helps our public transit ridership. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. I gave the bus a little bit of a new route, especially behind the high school there and behind the hospital, in front of the welfare office and beside the park, and ringing around the whole river road. So I think that's going to be helpful for some new neighborhoods that we just built. And I thought about, well, it would definitely reduce some vehicles on this route. I don't think it's going to be super well used right in the beginning. We can always add buses, but right now I'd like to keep our costs low. I thought about reducing the number of buses on the downtown line, and oh, okay, I'm seeing we just dropped from 60%, so perhaps we do that. Let's take it right down to the minimum, which is 2. We can hope that that won't actually depress ridership entirely because of the infrequency of the buses coming. And you know what, while we're at it, let's look at our cargo lines as well. We've got 2% usage on this one line and 0 on the other. I'm not sure why that would be. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so let's bump this down to 1 train. And you know, maybe it's just that we need to get more production in town and to export more. But we'll keep an eye on that. And this one will also take down to 1 train. And how did that do for our budget? We're just barely losing some money. That's okay, we put in a very expensive new hospital and a few other things, but I believe that once our industries start running, they're going to produce some more money for us. And this one, already full employees, 109% efficiency, only level 1, but seems to be rising, and this should be producing some money for us. You know, it wouldn't be fair to the industrial area to do nothing about it this episode, so let's get in just a few more let's get in a few more areas for industrial. Yeah, not bad, not a bad angle. Let's continue this road out and connect it to this collector here, and we'll make sure that we're continuing to grow our road capacity. Cool, another signature building, Villa City, soda bar with a large rooftop terrace. Okay, and you know what? We've been neglecting our special buildings, so let's see if we can take care of some of those next episode. And all right, let's review what we did. We've got a beautiful new hospital. I love it. I love my key wall action over here. Still learning how to use key walls, but I do think they add something really nice to the city, especially on this map that's quite hilly. What else did we do? We've put in a new residential neighborhood, a little bit of density behind the hospital, and a little bit of low density or no density behind the hospital grounds. A beautiful park with a welfare office and a couple of sports parks. We've got new industrial coming in. We've got new power plants. We've got new cotton, and we've got new metal ore. And we've sort of put a band-aid on our traffic issue. Oh, we have cleared this roundabout. That's awesome. Love that. Love the fact that our traffic's looking good. What's our actual percentage right now? So, to my eyes, it might have gone up just a tiny bit, but I think we still could do a lot better with traffic if we look at the colors here. I just think maybe we need some more public transit. Speaking of which, how are those lines doing? Let's see, we've got, back up to 63% utilization, that's fine. Of course, I don't think that's truly 63. I think that's probably only on 2 buses, 63%. So, wondering, can we find a bus here? Are we able to click on one of these guys? Let's head over there, try to catch our bus before he runs away. Okay, so it's definitely more than half full, which is about 63%. Yeah, so I think we've got lots of room to grow with our bus lines. The new one, it's doing its job. It's performing. It's taking about 90 passengers total between the 2 buses. We're moving along. It's looking good. Still no cargo on this one over here. That's weird. It's still only 3%. So I guess we're just not producing enough goods to justify. All right, well, I think let's leave it there. If you had a good time with me, please hit the like button and subscribe. I love it when you are notified about new episodes. And, let's grow together. Let's do this together. I'd love for you to come back and watch some more videos. Trying to put out as many as I can. Of course, it's a little bit challenging with my schedule, but I do love this game, and I make as much time as I can for it. So, hoping to put out some new videos. Subscribe and you'll get notified about those. I got a lot of plans for this city of Lillehammer. Do you like the name? Again, let me know in the comments and tell me if you think there's a better name for this thing. What does it feel like to you? What's the name of this city? It doesn't have to stay as is. Well, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time. I know there's other things you could be doing with your life, but I appreciate you spending it with me. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks and have a good night.